Hey Glendale, I'm Maya Morse.
And I'm Salem Gregg.
And you're watching the second episode of the Glendale 411.
In this episode, we will see the Springfield Raceway, PBIS, and more.
So stay tuned. You may have noticed a few changes to intervention this year. Addie Letterman and Salem Gregg will tell you why.
Have you been wondering why everyone is going to the Commons during intervention, but now known as flight? Well, here is Dr. Groves and Paige Ramsey to tell you what's going on and what's new.
So PBIS, which is Positive Behavior Intervention and Support, is a district program that is a K-12 initiative, and the purpose would be to make sure that we're, as sites, teaching what the behavior expectations of our students are, and then holding them accountable to that. It's a tiered intervention system, and so it allows us to work through multiple tiers of intervention and make sure that we're providing students the support that they need to be able to maintain a positive and safe environment and hopefully be more academically successful.
So basically, it's like a solid 30 minutes for students to all meet in the Commons, and they get to listen to music, they get to hang out, they can win prizes. Whenever you go to intervention in a classroom to seek help from a teacher, sometimes there can be too many kids and it distracts your teachers. So when there's somewhere for the kids to go, it opens up space in classrooms for students to get help and creates less of a distraction in intervention.
Our attendance currently is up a little over 9% year to date compared to last year, which is a huge jump. Yeah, so I would say student behavior overall is on an upward trend, especially some of what I would call like our classroom behaviors have decreased over time, and so I think that is a positive. We're working hard to make sure that our teachers can teach and the students that are there can learn. So I think the classroom environment has been positively impacted by this.
I also enjoy just like the little break in the day I get, so I think it's really great. So please make sure you keep your attendance and your grades up so that you can join us for our flight.
Phelan Caudell and Jamie Santner show us the checkered flag at the Springfield Raceway.
Every Saturday night, Springfield Raceway hosts a racing event. We get a look at what a night at the track is like.
Well, I know Jerry Hoffman, the track owner. He's owned it for 17 years, and it's been open since before that. So it's been around quite a long time.
It's my go-to as far as relief mentally. Like, I own my own business and working, and it's just real stressful. And I'm an addict, so this is my form of addiction to a healthy way anyways, to just relieve stress and spend time with the family and get to race a race car.
Between the drivers, we usually have over 100 drivers signed in to race, and then of course they got all their crew, helpers, kids, and then the grandstands. We usually pack in anywhere from a couple hundred to 500-600, just depending on the night.
It's a good time. I mean, it's something, that is not everywhere anymore, and it's, dying in popularity. So we got to get people out here and support these racetracks and keep them open.
It's a family environment. This is something you can bring somebody if they're 80, you can bring someone if they're 8 months old, and it's going to be appreciated. We keep it family friendly here, and then who doesn't love a good show with cars? We run 3, 4, 5 wide every single Saturday night here at the track, and we always do different special events. Like tonight we have the A-Mod special. A couple weeks ago we had a back to school bash where we gave away school supplies to the first 150 kids through the gate. Got a backpack full of supplies. So we're constantly reaching out to the community and especially the kids.
There's been a lot of cars tonight, and I've been to a lot of racetracks, so there was a lot more cars here tonight than I've ever been at.
Oh, it's amazing. The atmosphere, the environment, it's family oriented. Jerry Hoffman, the track, it's one of the raciest tracks around, and in the front wheel drive class, I started out in that last year, and they were just so welcoming to me, in that class. It's a really good environment, and it's not a lot of hostility.
Did Did you know that Glendale has its first FFA chapter? Caitlin Brady and Maddox Klingensmith here to tell the story.
At Glendale High School, the seeds of agricultural education are taking root with the introduction of FFA.
FFA stands for Future Farmers of America. It's a lot of agricultural stuff. You learn a lot of leadership skills. It's honestly just a good experience to do. So we're supposed to be doing gardening and then just learning about more plants and animals.
It stands for Future Farmers of America, but we're more than just farmers. Obviously, Glendale doesn't have a whole lot of farmers around, so we're kind of a unique group.
Before this year, Glendale has never had an agriculture program.
All the rural schools around pretty much have had agriculture for 30, 50 years, and they just finally jumped on the bandwagon. So I think they're finally starting to build programs throughout the whole Springfield School District. Glendale just finally got it this year, though.
It's always been something I wanted to do, being involved in FFA, and then I'm really glad that we got it here, so I wanted to be an officer and step forward.
And so agriculture, I think, is very diverse, and so you can find something that interests you within the field.
If you would like more information about FFA, see Mrs. Berry in room 249.
A new government teacher has come to Glendale. Gus Kruger and Tristan Zachary have the story.
What makes me want to be a teacher? I've loved school. I've loved it my whole life, and when I was in school, I had some really cool teachers, especially my history teacher, which made me interested in teaching history. So that's kind of the practical answer. The other reason is I just am interested in contributing to my community and making it a better place.
Mr. Nelson is the new government teacher here at Glendale, and his goal is to instruct us on how to abide the Constitution. A student of his had this to say.
He's good at his job. He's been doing it for I don't know how long.
This is year 13 for me.
He's really great about if you're a little bit behind, he'll let you turn it in a little late.
Learning about the law is important because we live in a democracy, and when you live in a democracy, that means that people have power and people have freedoms, and the success of it depends on people being informed and knowing what the rules are, and not just knowing them, but living by them. It's citizenship training.
If I didn't have his class, I wouldn't understand how the government works because I don't understand how the government works. So without it, I would be pretty lost.
If you want to learn about democracy, room 213 is the place to be.
Thank you all so much for watching.
And please be sure to follow us on all social media platforms and to subscribe to watch future shows.
With the Glendale 411, I'm Maya Morse.
And I'm Salem Gregg, signing off.